What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. Links in the description below. Check them out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, we had another town hall. This one is for November of 2024. And you know what? It was awesome. It really was a fantastic town hall. And I want to just take a quick moment to apologize because for anybody that attended the post town hall reaction stream that we did last night with Lorcus and Tails, in my opinion, after having slept on it, it was just completely, just entirely negative for reasons that I don't think were justified. And this is not me taking a shot at Tails or Lorcus or trying to, rewrite history here. I'm glad that they brought in the perspectives that they brought. And I was trying to, obviously have the conversation and manage wherever people were. And in looking at that, again, not to take away from the points, I thought they brought up fantastic points, but it was very specific and very focused on hardcore mode. And looking at hardcore mode as this thing that could potentially ruin the entire game, which, okay, I get it. We've had issues with bots. It is what it is, right? We've actually overcome that in quite many ways. And it'll be frustrating for us to go back in that direction. But in looking at all of this, and I know, sorry, this is the longest intro, in looking at, the entire picture of what is happening right now with the bull run, with the presidential election being over here in the US, with the new administration coming in, crypto-friendly policies, with Bitcoin hitting, new all-time highs, there's too much momentum here. And I looked at that conversation last night and I felt a little bad, just being honest with you guys, right? And again, this is not it was a conversation that we had and it was perfectly fine. And I'm not, excuse me, I'm not trying to take away any of the points that Tails or Lorcus were making, and not even trying to say that they're wrong in the way that they felt. I'm just saying that I felt after waking up, I was like, wait a second, Bitcoin's knocking on 100K. There's a lot of, as I was putting the notes together, I was thinking through, I'm there's a lot of really exciting things happening. We just got so laser focused on this one thing that, could push us back towards the past. And I honestly don't think that is the case. I don't think that we're going to be in a situation where one small aspect of or a little experiment of this hardcore mode will be something that undoes Splinterlands. We're not in that position, right? So I just want to take a moment to talk through that, because that live stream last night, in the moment, I was engaged in the conversation and we were talking, but in looking at it in retrospect, in my opinion, and in trying to give you guys, an overall viewpoint, it was not a complete picture of what the town hall was. We were reacting to a very, very small piece of what is happening. And so my hope with this is to recognize that, it was a good conversation. There were a lot of fantastic ideas for survival mode that came from that, but that wasn't the full representation of what, I think the town hall was. I thought it was fantastic. I asked, right, in the live streams this past week leading up to it, I said they had to deliver a fantastic town hall, and I'd like to say that they did, right? Are there some questions? Absolutely, and obviously we'll get into some of that with hardcore mode. Maybe here, I already did a video on that, so you guys can check that out if you want. But I'm sure that's going to be a talking point for the next couple of months anyway, since it's not coming out this year. So let's go ahead and dive in. There was probably way more than 5 things that I could have thrown on here, so I've tried to consolidate as much of it as possible, and I'll try to speak to things. I actually deleted my notes already because I have this here. So let's just go through. I don't want this to be super long, but I just wanted to give you that extended intro for anybody that attended the live stream last night or watched the replay of it. My thoughts after sleeping on it are completely different. So let's go ahead and dive in and focus on the bigger picture of everything that's going on here within the world of Splinterlands. So first things first, we have the current projects, which at the last town hall, he mentioned 4 things he wanted to get out before the end of, or before Conclave Arcana came out. Now it's up to 6. Although I guess like, the other 2 were already happening, he just didn't count them. So there's 6 projects that are currently in the works that does not include Conclave Arcana, which is coming out hopefully in about 5-ish months or so, 5 or less. We have the mobile app, the free-to-play overhaul. We have survival mode, we have glamour, we have validators, and we have land 1.75. Now, I've just put rough time estimates here based on what the team has said. Mobile app is happening in Q1. The free-to-play overhaul, it seems like it's an ongoing thing. Obviously, there's a free-to-play mode that's available now, and they're tweaking things as Royal Eagle is talking with a lot of new players, and they're trying to do a lot of feedback and all of that. So that's something that's ongoing. The survival mode here is early Q1. Right? They wanted to get that out before the end of this year, but, Investigator was saying it's probably best to save for next year, which again, with the way that people were reacting after the town hall last night, I think that's actually probably a good thing. Like, let the team take some of this feedback, parse through it, see what's real, see what's not, and then make some adjustments for early next year. Glamour is not coming out until after survival mode. I mean, Matt even kind of said that they haven't released. I mean, I know they started on it, but the way that he spoke about it was like, yeah, glamour. He's like, I think we can still get it going in Q1 and get it out. But it sounds like that's almost an afterthought now for the other things that are going on. Validators, which is technically under the purview of the DAO, but obviously we have team members or former team members that are working on it. That is set for January, which is great. And then Land 1.75, Cryptomancer was on and gave quite a comprehensive look at things. Now, here's the thing: there wasn't much new in what Cryptomancer gave outside of like the updates on what's been completed and not. It seems like they're about halfway, or he's about halfway through. He didn't want to commit to a month, which means in my head it's not happening in January. So I'm going to go with mid to late Q1 for this, which would be obviously February or March. So again, I'm going to spend a little time here with each of these. So going back to the mobile app, what's really cool about this is that now that tech modernization is 99.9% complete. I believe there's one last aspect, which is the tutorial, and I think that they're going to take away the old tutorial, and there was an announcement of like them doing like a streamer or a content creator contest for people to be able to go and create like a tutorial. I mean, that's cool. That's whatever it is, like just get it done. And hopefully we can wrap the entire site and make it into a nice clean mobile app. And the best part about this is there is somebody that is working on it who has experience with Hive, has experience with building with projects around Hive, which is, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but the person who essentially created the Hive keychain app, which I use actually somewhat regularly whenever I need to, do things. So I think that that's fantastic. You got somebody who's in the ecosystem, who's, stands to benefit and wants to make Hive actually awesome, right? So this is a perfect kind of synergy in my opinion. So I love that. I think it'll be great. And my hope is that because you have somebody who's experienced, somebody who's familiar with Hive and, hopefully Splinterlands and how all this stuff works, it shouldn't take too long. And I'm hoping we can get that out early Q1, but that's where it's at. I talked a little bit about free-to-play overhaul already. We don't need to go further into that. Survival mode, I put a video out, and I just wanted to focus on what the post had. Matt talked through it and gave maybe just slightly more details or reasonings as to why he's choosing to do X, Y, and Z. Keep in mind that probably the biggest takeaway from this would be the fact that it is an MVP, right? They want to put this out there, test it out, see how it works. And this is why I gave that long intro, right? Because I want to give them that opportunity to test it out, give it a try. And this is what I'm saying, where like the sentiment last night, both with the three of us talking about, the negativity around bots, and then even in the chat, like in thinking about it again, holistically from a top-down view, if they run it for 4 seasons, right, 2 months, that's not going to be the end of the world, right? It's not going to be the end of the world if some, bots are earning a bunch of SPS. Again, could it? Yes. Will it be a speed bump? Absolutely. But it's not the end of the world. And therefore, that's why I don't want to be, I don't want to make it out to be something more than it is. I do think, and I said this last night, and I'll reiterate it again. And Matt even mentioned this, directly. it's not about feeding these bot farms, right? The team has done a fantastic job of combating the bot farms. It really is about focusing on players who have larger collections and collecting more than one copy of a card, making it viable for them to do so. So I love the idea of survival mode, and I have a lot of confidence in the team's ability to be open to feedback as well as be agile enough to change things around, especially if the community feedback is loud, right? We've seen that in the past. We've seen that especially in this past year. You know, the team has been very nimble in trying to adjust things just to make sure whether the community is giving feedback or not. You see them come in and they adjust, you know, all the different, glint levels and the batch sizes and all that. Like they're running the numbers there, right? This is not like a blind faith with the team, but you know, there's smart people there. I respect everybody on the team and what they're trying to do. And so I don't think that we want to get into a situation where we get, you know, crazy massive bot farms that are incentivized to come in, which I'm not even that worried about because energy as it stands right now is finite, but cards technically are not. So there is a finite amount of energy there. And if there's an opportunity, I think people will take it and jump on it. Like people will min max, and therefore that could create an interesting situation. So I am excited for hardcore mode or survival mode, whatever it's called. And so, yeah, there's that. So, Glamour, talked about briefly. Validators, the only thing is, again, I'm not technical, so I kind of zoned out. Shout out to PJ who gave a great update. I wasn't zoning out from him talking. He's fascinating. But the part I zoned out about was the technical requirements that would be in place in order to run the software. So if you're interested in that, it was in like the first probably like 30-ish minutes or so. I forgot the minute mark, but you can go check that out, listen to it. I'm sure they'll put out a full post, but if you're just, wanting to get a little bit of a heads up on what they're thinking the technical requirements will be, that was there. And obviously they're on track for a January release, assuming, there's no other major, actually what he was saying was not even the validator software development. It was how are they going to shake it out with the rest of the Splinterlands releases. So we'll see how that goes. And then LAN 1.75, I talked about it briefly already. I want to do a separate video on this because Cryptomancer did share a decent amount of eye candy as well as like a little presentation on what he's working on, what's completed, what's in progress, and what is, to come. There are two phases to this, which is odd to me because it seems like 1.75 phase 1 is what we were thinking 1.75 would be, and then he's putting this like phase 2 to 1.75, which is like pulling in more things from 2.0 and the white paper and like ease of use. Like one of the things is being able to have like a button that harvests everything at the same time, which obviously for people who have multiple regions or multiple whatever, that would obviously make your life a little bit easier. So I'll do a separate video on that, focusing in on land. But again, that's where things are at. Okay, so let's talk marketing. Number 2. So Blaze was on as well, and this is what I was saying. It's a fantastic town hall. There was a lot of great energy in there, right? PJ was on, Blaze was on, Cryptomancer was on. I mean, it felt like a full house, which was great. I really enjoyed it. We were missing some of the other names out there, but it was nice to have them on. So. Marketing metrics are up, and there's a focus on X/Twitter, was the report from Blaze. Again, there was no broad overview. I wasn't expecting that going in, just because Matt said that wouldn't really be ready, and they probably wouldn't start marketing until maybe like March of next year with Conclave Arcana. Now, that being said, I think that there's still a lot of other things that they're doing, and I love what type of engagement Blaze has been working on with X. So, whether it's these like little battle things or, challenges where if you can beat this summoner with this summoner or whatever the case is, I think it's great. It engages the community in a positive way. It offers ways for people to earn, a little bit extra, right? If they can go in and play and accomplish these goals. It puts everything publicly. On Twitter. Now, crypto Twitter is phenomenal. So I'm glad that there is a focus there. I'm not as impressed with the metrics being up because obviously things are small right now, and metrics going up that's going to happen regardless. Also, and I'm not saying that the team has done this, but there's a lot of black hat stuff out there that can increase your metrics, whether it's followers, whether it's followers or views or retweets, whatever the case is. So whenever I hear like, oh, metrics are up, I'm like, oh, dude, there's like so many fake bots and stuff out there. Like, I don't even know how many people are following Splinterlands on Twitter. In fact, I want to do this right now because I think it's going to prove my point entirely. And again, I'm not trying to say that the Splinterlands team is engaged in any of this or that Blaze is doing any of that, but it just comes with the marketing world. So, for example, Splinterlands has 61,000 followers on X right now. Where are those 61,000 people? Why are they following this game? And why are they not playing the game if they're following them on Twitter? Just, it's weird, right? So, again, just pointing it out. I'm not saying that that's what they're engaging in now with the metrics on the increase, but like I'm just saying that if that's all the updates that we're going to get on marketing is just like the metrics, that's not going to matter to me, right? What I love though is the focus on engagement with the community. And if those metrics are going up, right, in the sense that we're seeing replies from a lot of people that we know and retweets and just things like that. Yeah, I know that those are still like, metrics that can be tracked or faked, but I'm seeing a lot of people that I know that I follow or that I'm kind of privy to on X that are getting involved with this, which is great. So I love it. There's new people coming in, checking out the game. The community is very active, and it just has the ability to really go viral. And speaking of viral, it does sound like there is a TikTok strategy in play as well. And while I used to use TikTok and I had a couple of videos go viral back in the day, I'm not sure what that atmosphere is like anymore. Maybe it's worth getting back into for me personally, but that's besides the point. There is a lot of virality on TikTok as well. So I'm glad that there is a focus on that. So we'll see how that all plays out. The only other exciting thing regarding the marketing is that it sounded like they wanted to get some of the folks from the Illuvium marketing team on this town hall. Now, keep in mind, we are, I don't know if it's contract, I'm assuming some kind of contract or short-term, whatever, but we have two folks, I forgot their names, who worked with Illuvium during the last bull run or during, Illuvium's time, that are essentially consulting for Blaze and for the team to try and help Splinterlands get to the next level. I think this is underrated. And I mean, they talked about it during the last town hall. They've talked about it since. Obviously, it'd be nice for them to come on. I think it's underrated because, it all comes down to who you know. Now, this could be a situation where maybe we got like the two bums from Illuvium that are like, just riding the coattails of other people who actually did the work. I'm going to assume that's not the case, right? I'm going to assume that they were actually involved. And if you look at Illuvium's success during the last bull run, it was wild because there was no game. There was no game, and yet they got this, the valuations of the token to ridiculous levels, right? And land was selling like crazy, and the NFTs were selling like crazy. So my hope is that even, if they can just come in and make the right introductions, whatever it is, that will be beneficial for us as we head into the bull run next year. So I'm actually very much looking forward to hearing from them and hearing what ideas they have and how they are actually and actively contributing to the marketing efforts. Okay, number 3, this is a final update for 2024. There is going to be one final update for 2024 in December. I don't know if they gave the date yet. And in fact, let me just check right now since I have it open. Planned maintenance is for December 10th. So it looks like that's what they have. December 10th is the last planned maintenance for this year. There's a couple things coming in. I'll start from the bottom here. The voucher promo card, which is something that I wanted to see. We didn't get the stats for it, but they're at least aware of it, and it's going to be coming out in December, which is fantastic. You have the last Hall of Legends. So right now we're going into phase 4, which will be up in about 2 weeks. And then there'll be a 2-week break in December. And then the next one will start, I believe, early January. So they're just going to put everything in. And then the new ambassador program, which I think is going to be really great. It's something that I should probably be more excited about. I just haven't really thought about it. But I think if this is going to be a way to get more people into the game, it'll be fantastic because now it's going to be, hey, like use my referral link. And I'm not even talking about this from like a content creator standpoint, although I do appreciate anybody that has used my referral link in the past and anybody that does in the future. But it's like you randomly can just go to someone and be like, yo, check out this game. It's free to play. Use my referral link. Check it out, right? Tell all your friends, all your family, whatever it is that you think might be interested in the game. They can come in and play for free. And guess what? Maybe they come in, they try it out, and they don't, do anything for a couple of months. And then all of a sudden, SPS jumps, Bitcoin hits 300,000. I don't know what it's going to do, but Bitcoin hits, new all-time highs in March or April of next year. And they're like, oh, wait, I remember that like crypto game that somebody told me about in, during the holidays. Let me go check back out. Oh, let me buy some stuff. Well, hey, now all of a sudden, it's beneficial for you. You're getting Glint, you're getting getting a piece of their purchases. There's a really cool Nature's Some Eye Candy where you can go in and actually see every season, like the benefits that you're getting from your previous folks. So I just previous referrals, I should say. So I'm excited about that. I think it'll be awesome. And obviously, for anybody out there that's new to the game and wants to use my referral link, I think it is updated down below. But we'll see if the link changes or whatever in the future. So that is the final update for 2024 coming on December 10th. So just a couple of weeks away. And then number 4 here, previous partnerships are no longer active. So this is just a quick a question that was asked towards the end of the live stream where somebody had brought up partnerships with Warner Music Group and I think it was Todd McFarlane, like the Spawn guy. Like where what's the status of all that? So none of that is actually happening. If anything, I guess Matt was saying that stuff would go towards the Invenium side. It was more so what Agro was pushing with like new games launching. So his focus is primarily, his meaning Matt's, is primarily on Splinterlands. And at this point in time, there are no active partnerships, although, marketing is seeking certain things. And, Matt referenced a couple of partnerships that they've done in the past that did bring a lot of people into the game. Again, there was like a partnership with Wax. I think there was a partnership that they did with PancakeSwap as well. So, overall, I think it'll be good. So, it sucks that all those partnerships that we've been waiting to hear more about for the past couple of years are no longer active. But at the same time, it's kind of like a blank slate, and hopefully the marketing team will be able to go in and take advantage of the fact that we don't have anything that we're beholden to, and we can just continue to build and do things that are beneficial for Splinterlands and Splinterlands only. And then number 5, just to close things off, and this is why, because I was this is why I had such a long intro. It's because I was re-listening to the town hall, and at the end, Matt talked about just crypto. Like he's never been more excited about the game than he is right now, and I think that's important, not just for Matt, right? Again, all love to Matt, so I'm not trying to take that away from him, but he referenced certain things that I think are important to note, which is the crypto space is in a much better place, right? And he even directly named certain things that were impacting them. For people who are not aware, of what Operation Choke Point 2.0 was, like that was directly impacting them. I didn't know until he's like, yeah, banks were not wanting to do business. They people, the banks were closing accounts with them. There was a lot of fear about what the SEC would do with any kind of crypto-based games or NFTs and all that, because everything from a regulatory standpoint was just not clear. So at this point in time, it seems as though, based on where crypto is at, where Bitcoin is at, right? New all-time highs, bull run, all of this positive attitude momentum, it seems as though we are in for, hopefully, what will be one hell of a ride next year. Now, I say that, not that it's financial advice, not that you should ape into anything. I'm not telling you to even buy anything. I'm just saying that I think it'll be a fun time for crypto. I think it'll be a fun time for Splinterlands. I think that a lot of the uncertainty of the future is now gone. And so therefore the team can just focus on making a fun, cool game and adding value through all the different projects that they're working on, and hopefully all the different projects that they will add to this list in 2025. So, ultimately, I'm excited. I thought it was a great town hall, and I gave my caveat for my everything in the intro, so hopefully you guys watch that. But I'm feeling pretty good. Obviously, the one negative I will say is I really wanted something to deliver by the end of this year. I thought it'd be Glamour. I thought it'd be Hardcore Mode. I thought it'd be Land. None of that came to pass. So now we're just pushing everything to Q1, which makes me nervous because we've seen things get pushed a little too much, and I would just love to see things start to get delivered. That being said, though, let's recognize the fact that the team has been delivering a lot of really cool stuff that we didn't even know was in the works. So now that we know that this is coming, everybody go out, touch some grass. It's winter, so maybe touch some snow. Enjoy the holidays. I think there will be another town hall. I don't know if they're going to do a December town hall or not, but if there's not, then I will see you all in the January town hall. For those who just got tuned in for these videos only, I get it. But that is all I have for you guys in the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.